AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour two, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Murray.
Murray, present.
And Mr. Toby Tomplay. Toby TV. AFR TV.
I was about to say that's not the way
AFR
to do it.
TV. That's how
AFR
it goes.
TV.
Don't act like you know.
You told me.
I had explained this whole thing to you an hour ago.
So now I know.
Don't act like you're the foremost expert on TV.
I mean, believe me, I'm not, but I get it now.
I live with the world's foremost expert on TV.
Yep, you do.
Taylor's version. Toby's version. Toby remastered the AFR Open. Crank it up, Muse. Let fun. Yeah. Get a little grunge on it. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Make it a good one. Joe Murray.
Murray, present.
In 12 minutes from right now. He does radio up in Boston. He'll join us, talk a little bit about the Patriots. We'll get to that here in just a smidge. New Orleans Saints are off the practice field. And do we have good news? How about breaking news, Muse? Breaking news. Good news. Good news. Saints got a starter back in practice today.
Chase Young's back, huh?
No.
Oh.
No, not him.
Oh. Trevor Penning's back.
Oh, he's been back. He played last week.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Way to lock in on the team, Muse. Good job.
I watched the game.
Clearly.
Who we got?
You had the right position group there, Muse.
Oh. Is this perhaps a former first-round pick?
Might be. Ranking 91st in the NFL among all offensive guards, according to PFF.
Our guy's back.
Coming back. I wouldn't call him our guy.
It's our guy.
He's not. He's most definitely not our guy. Cesar Ruiz back in practice. Hey, look at Muse getting fired up. Paul, let's give it up to Cesar. Tell you what. Cesar Ruiz was, remember, supposed to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Now, just because he was back at practice doesn't mean he's going to play this weekend, okay? But remember, initially that timeline with the ankle injury was 4 to 6 weeks. And if nothing else, I can respect a dude who's injured getting his behind back out there and getting back on the field with his dudes. I can respect that. Ruiz deserves a lot of criticism for the fact that he hadn't played well. I mean, it ain't his fault the Saints wasted a first-round pick on him. But Ruiz was back there with his unit at practice. Now, the other player that was not there was Isaac Yiadom, and I don't think that's a great surprise. Remember, Yiadom missed last week's game with the hamstring injury. The Saints this week went and added veteran cornerback Michael Davis, and that very clearly just correlates with Yiadom's injury and the Saints not wanting Yiadom to go over the 25% snap threshold, so they maintain their compensatory pick for Paulson Adebo leaving. But there was one other little tidbit that is notable, is that, and Ross Jackson has it up at LouisianaSports.net, is that late in the media viewing portion of practice, again, so the media doesn't get to see the whole practice, but late in the media viewing portion, Chase Young did sort of just make an appearance. Now, how much did he participate? Don't know. Will he be available this week? Not sure. What would his role be? Undetermined. But we'll wait till we get the full injury report here in a little bit. And when we do, we'll have a better sense of where Chase Young is. But remember, calf injury that Chase Young said before week 1 was going to be a minor thing, no big deal. He doesn't go on short-term IR, meaning they really anticipated he'd be back within 4 weeks. Well, he's now missed 5 games. And you're going into week 6 now, still not having had Chase Young, your highest-priced free agent, your best edge rusher, available. So maybe this is the week they get him back. And if you do get Chase Young back, remember, that would be Chase Young returning to take on a rookie left tackle for the New England Patriots in Will Campbell. So that could bring a large degree of intrigue to this game if, in fact, Chase Young is back in time to face the Patriots this week. And while we're waiting on the injury report, it is worth pointing out, Mike Vrabel met with reporters earlier today. The Patriots actually get their ass out of bed and go have practice, and then their coach meets with reporters at a sensible time and said, your 18-year-old head coach who likes to sleep in because he's up playing video games and eating Twizzlers all night long. I'm kidding, Ellen. Enjoy your first win. But Mike Vrabel talked about the challenges that the Saints present.
We don't really know this opponent, I would say. This is new for a lot of players here and maybe some coaches here as far as, their personnel and what they do and their skill players offensively and Olave and, Shaheed and how good Kamara is and Miller coming on and running as hard as he did. They got all their tight ends are available and up ready to go. So we'll have to understand the difference between Jennings and, when Taysom's in the game or Moreau and defensively. So it's a big physical front. I've always appreciated the way Demario Davis plays the game. And, corners are active, big, long, play the football at 24 PBUs on a season as a defense. So they're creating turnovers, and that was the difference in last week's game.
Yeah. Did he say Monroe? Who's Monroe that he was talking about?
No, it wasn't Monroe. He didn't say Monroe.
I thought he said Monroe.
No, he said Moreau.
Well, who's Moreau?
I don't know.
Nobody on the team named Moreau.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody on the team named Jennings either, but, it's whatever.
Did he drop a Jennings in?
Yeah, I think he meant Juwan Johnson. He got it confused with Juwan Jennings. he totally did. You want me to run it back?
I missed it. Oh, my God. And not a Brian Kelly. Maybe it's a Boston thing. A Brian Kelly mispronouncing, misidentifying players. Got Mike Vrabel up there doing it.
Understand the difference between Jennings and...
Oh.
Yeah.
When he's talking about the tight ends.
Yeah.
They got both their tight ends back, meaning Taysom and Foster. Oh, maybe he meant Foster Moreau.
That could have been it.
That's probably what he meant.
That could have been it, yeah.
I thought he said Monroe. No. There's nobody by that name. And you said he said Moreau, which there's nobody by that name either. He means Foster Moreau.
That guy's on the team, yeah.
Yep. Played last week, too.
Played well.
Played pretty well. Yeah. Good to see him out there running around. All right, so we'll wait on the injury report. And Ellen's going to speak to
Ellen Moore
to reporters. Has he done that yet, Muse? Has he spoken? Are they done?
I don't know if he's done, but I know he was. I tried to roll tape on it earlier.
Like, how long ago was Ellen talking to reporters?
The last segment.
Okay, so just here in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
okay,
like
got
it's
it. Okay.
fresh, yeah.
Okay, all right. So the Saints are done practice. Ellen is meeting with reporters, and then we'll get an injury report a bit later.
Ellen Moore.
So good. I mean, she called the coach Ellen. I mean, it's so good. I'm not being a jerk. I promise. But she called the coach Ellen.
Ellen Moore.
It's a man, and his name is Kellen. And she called him Ellen. She called him Ellen. Hit it again. What are you doing?
Ellen Moore.
Trying to compose myself.
This is never going away.
No.
I'm just here to tell you. Grandma Gail seems lovely. That's just objectively funny. I'm honestly surprised that more people don't use that. Like how How did that not become a viral thing that everybody uses?
Yeah.
Like the viral gifs, like the fat guy with the thumbs down thing, right? Like the, oh my God, it's happening from The Office. Like those things that go viral. Like, how did that one not catch hold? She mispronounced the coach's name at the introductory press conference, called him a woman's name.
Ellen Moore.
It was the first thing I told you. I remember, because you're like, anything stand out? I was like, Gail called him Ellen. You were like, what? I was like, yeah.
Ellen. Got him. Oh, man. Maybe one day Ellen will win us a ring.
Ellen Moore.
And if not, we can go buy one at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. How about that transition, Muse? There it is. How about it? Your boy, Scotty's on fire. Or should I say, Scony's on fire. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You know, I love telling you about Lee Michaels and how so many people go and, buy their engagement rings at Lee Michaels and have for 4 decades, but they're so philanthropic as well. Not only do you get the best diamond, but you're also contributing to the community, because it seems that every charity event that you attend, there's a red box there. At Lee Michaels, they are in the celebration business. Engagements, promotions, other milestones. These are things you keep, things you cherish, things you pass down through generations of your family. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You want a fair price. You want to be the hero. At Lee Michaels, guys, they'll make you the hero. lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, y'all. It's after further review. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Well, now I got a quick break, and when we come back, we'll head up to Boston. Think I'll go to Boston. Remember that song? Who sang that? I don't know. Some with an A. One word band with an A. Forgot it. It'll come to me. Forgot it. Joe Murray covers
Murray, present.
the Boston. I was going to say the Boston Red Sox. He doesn't. He covers the New England. But he
might.
Season,
yeah. But
their season's over. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah,
the Red Sox season. It's over.
Ended,
yeah.
They
lost. They lost in the postseason.
Yeah. How's that going for the team that beat them?
They won last night.
Okay. So they're leading the series?
They'll be tied after tonight.
Oh, so they're down 2-1. Got it.
They'll be tied after tonight.
Got it.
Yeah, your team is not playing.
That's fine.
That's exactly the response you would expect from a fake fan who's Johnny-come-lately only when the Red Sox got good. It's AFR. Joe Murray next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. If you are thinking about selling your home, you got to call Darren James. Here's Darren's cell, by the way. I'm going to give you Darren's cell. You can call him right now, text him. You're thinking about selling your home, you need a realtor. Look, I'm sure Aunt Ethel, the realtor, is a lovely person. But Aunt Ethel, the realtor, isn't on the Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1% of realtors in America. Oh, by the way, for a decade straight. But Darren James has. Because he sells more real estate than any other realtor in the state of Louisiana. So if you want to sell your home, you want the best, you want Darren James. Darren guarantees he'll sell your home. He's got the guaranteed sale program. Agree to a price and a deadline. If Darren doesn't sell your home at that price by that deadline, he'll sell your home for free or he'll have it bought with cash. What do you got to lose? Agent225.com. Agent225.com. Remember, use that home value tool. How much is your home worth? You can find out in a matter of seconds at Agent225.com.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. Who that say they're gonna beat them Saints? Let's head behind enemy lines to preview this week's matchup.
Joe Murray, 985 The Sports Hub. Good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here, talk about the Saints and the Pats. How are you, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Saints got a win for the first time this year, so vibes not awful. I would imagine coming off Sunday night winning in Buffalo, vibes have to be immaculate there in Boston. So 5 games in here for Mike Vrabel. What's the temperature there for the Patriots?
Oh, it's high. I would advise a lot of Patriots fans that this is a trap game this week. They're in the midst of a 3 consecutive week road stretch. Winning in Buffalo Sunday Night Football. Now you're against New Orleans as 3-point favorites. Next week is the Mike Vrabel Tennessee game on the road. So you would think after a high emotional win, going on the road against a team that the Patriots should beat, it is a trap spot. The line's only 3, but the temperature's high, and everyone now thinks Drake May is the next face of the NFL.
Yeah. Everyone in Boston thinks he's the next face of the NFL?
I mean, you could make the case that he's the best of the last draft class and potentially the last couple of draft classes.
Oh, sure.
He's only won really 4 games in his career, but yeah, with the way he looked last week, I'd be concerned if I was the New Orleans Saints.
Look, the Saints need to be concerned about everything. I mean, they're terrible. So, yeah, they should be concerned. What has changed maybe to help Drake May with this emergence here in year 2?
I think it's Drake May. People will tell you it's Josh McDaniels. I think you guys know the story of him, right? Won 6 championships in New England.
Yes.
Had 4 failing opportunities elsewhere. So, is it him? He's going to get the credit. If May wasn't good, he would have been the fall guy. So to me, it's Drake May offensively, but Mike Vrabel actually has a system here. It's his guys, and the free agent signings have been really good. Milton Williams has been outstanding coming over, stopping the run. He's been great, and Carlton Davis has really helped out at defensive back. And Harold Landry is a pass rusher now. The guy, he played with him in Tennessee. So I think those 3 guys have really helped out on the defensive side. On the offensive side, Drake May is just elevated. And they actually have a left tackle in Will Campbell that you guys know well, who's been pretty. Should have probably led that off, right? But Will Campbell's been really solid. And next to him has been Jared Wilson, who played center at Georgia a year ago. That's their left side of the line. I think the Saints can take advantage of it this week, but they've been pretty solid so far.
We'll see if Chase Young's back, how they may go. It was literally, Joe, that my next note. I did want to ask about Campbell. I mean, everybody here loves him. We've watched the guy play since he was in high school. But the transition seems to have been pretty seamless. What are the early reviews there on Campbell?
I would say this. He does look undersized. He doesn't look like your premier tackle, right? He just doesn't have that build. The big talk was his arm length. But for the most part, dude, he's been pretty solid out there. He's not great on, like, late stunts, things to that degree. But this is where Josh McDaniels comes in. He can always have someone, a tight end on the other side protecting him. The fact that there's 2 rookies there, I'm actually shocked that there's been really no real concerns. Few false starts here and there, but overall, like, the number 4 pick is not what I really wanted, but he's been solid holding it down. And as the season goes along, let's see if he gets better. But overall, he's been fine is what I would use.
Joe Murray's with us, 98.5 The Sports Hub there in Boston. Hey, what is maybe one of the weak links, if there is one, offensively for this team right now? What's the concern?
For me, it's the running back position right now is a little thin. They lost Antonio Gibson to an ACL this week. Ramondre Stevenson has fumbled the ball 10 times in, I don't know, probably his last 10 games. And they're not using Travion Henderson enough, the star from Ohio State. They're thin back there. So that's why it's more impressive what Drake May is doing without a running game. I'm still concerned about the defense. Last week they played well against Josh Allen, but they've been giving up a touchdown on the opening drive in 3 out of 5 weeks. So that's something I'd look at. But the other thing is tight ends. This is where I think maybe if Taysom Hill can somehow get involved in this game, I know he threw a pass last week. I think the linebackers can't really cover tight ends. That would be a concern for me this week, and I think something that Saints fans should look at there. But, I don't know if Juwan Johnson and Foster Moreau are sparing anybody, but that's something that you can attack the Patriots with is their tight end.
Joe, if we flip it defensively, I think everybody just assumes Mike Vrabel, his background, Pats are going to be good on defense. They're top 10 in the league in scoring defense right now. If I asked you through a handful of games, how would you assess that side of the ball? What would you say?
I would say he didn't care about the defense early on and was so focused on getting the offense on track. After games, he would just continuously call out Drake May and Josh McDaniels, never really put blame on the defense, and I think they started to trust Mayo. That's not Mayo. Here I am now. By the way, I know we're trying to move on from the Mayo era.
That was last year, man. That was last year.
Right. No, I know, but that's what I'm trying to say is last year, I don't know if they had that trust in Mayo. This year, they have that trust in Vrabel. Christian Gonzalez has been the biggest impact. He came back 2 weeks ago. He's back this year. And Marcus Jones has taken the next step. He's the third corner, but he is a elite punt kick returner on special teams. I would absolutely be worried about him this week. But I would say the trust. They didn't trust Mayo. They trust Vrabel. And they're only getting better now every week with that pass rush and that defensive back really playing well.
Yeah, Joe, if you would elaborate a bit there in the third phase, because look, the Saints kicker Blake Grupe is 10 out of 15 on field goals. He's missed 5 kicks already this year. It's been a real struggle defending kicks and punts and just the whole third phase. How is New England in that third phase?
Amazing. And they were bad last year, believe it or not. But Andy Borregales, the kicker from Miami, he had the game winner last week. You all saw. He has struggled, though. He's gotten better. His extra points haven't been great. He's gotten better. But the Patriots are dynamic, and now they lose Gibson. He was huge. He had a touchdown earlier. I don't know what they're going to do to really replace him. Maybe Travion Henderson gets more touches there. But as far as the special teams go, Patriots has been pretty well. Now, I think the Patriots would like to maybe take some chances knowing that they have to put the New Orleans kicker out there. So maybe they will blitz a little bit more this week. I've been somewhat impressed. I know nobody's really hyping up the quarterback battle, but Spencer Rattler versus Drake May, this was a college fan's North Carolina, South Carolina. This was supposed to be a big one. I've actually been somewhat impressed with Spencer Rattler. I know he is what he is. Maybe you got a little bit more insight, but the Patriots have struggled against guys who can move with their legs.
He's not afraid to do it, which is why they kept the sack number low. But the most impressive thing, Jay, he's not beating anybody with his arm, but he's limited. He's limited the bad plays, right? One interception through 5 games. He's limited the negative plays. The question is, can he be explosive enough to win a game for you? We haven't seen that. So the final thing, Joe Murray's with us here from 98.5 The Sports Hub in Boston. For Mike Vrabel in this game, to avoid what you sort of alluded to as we started that trap spot, what is their blueprint to come into the Dome and get a win on Sunday?
They can't turn the ball over. You just mentioned that about Rattler. That's great. He needs explosive plays. Drake May has explosive plays. He turns the ball over. It's not just him. It's the entire offense. So the Patriots need to beat bad football. That needs to be what their blueprint is. The Saints play bad football. But I will say this. They've forced turnovers in 4 out of the last 5 games? That's something I'd be concerned about on the Patriots side of things. Let down, all that. So I would say if the Saints can win the turnover battle, they're going to win the game.
So I'll check in the box score when the thing's over. He's Joe Murray on Twitter X at Joey Murr, M-U-R-R. If you want to give him a follow, do it right there, 98.5 The Sports Hub there in Boston. Hey, man, we always appreciate it. Maybe the Saints and the Pats keep doing this every so often. We'll get to visit more often.
I love New Orleans.
Come on down, bro. Thanks, Joe. We appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
It's our pleasure, Joe Murray. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Hey, for our Lafayette crowd, Southwest Volkswagen's there in Lafayette. But look, the bottom line is South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, because they move more vehicles than anyone. They give you a better deal than anyone. Like, how about right now, you're talking about 2025 Tiguan, a $2,000 conquest bonus for current owners. So you can check it out right now at southpointvw.com. 1.9% for 60 months on 2025 Atlas. That's the 3-row, 7-seater family SUV. And if you ever want to check the website, chat with an associate, you could do so easily right there as a chat bubble right there at the bottom right. Tap the chat bubble, instantly, boom, you're chatting with an associate at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Shop by year, make, model, body, style, price, new, certified, pre-owned. They got 201. Look at the website right now. 201 vehicles available right now. Every vehicle that's on the lot, you can shop it online at southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, thanks to Joe Murray for hanging out with us here. We will get to Russ Mitchell in about 45 minutes. Recap last week in the SEC, preview the weekend ahead, including the Red River rivalry with Texas and OU. Will John Mateer play? Giant question there. And, of course, LSU getting back on the field after a week off. Same with the Gamecocks. Both teams coming off their bye this week with South Carolina coming into Baton Rouge. We'll get to all that with Russ Mitchell coming up next hour. It is after further review. The Saints and Patriots injury reports out. We'll get to that. Brian Kelly and Shane Beamer on the SEC Coaches Teleconference giving updates on the team's practices heading through this week. And you can believe it, the NCAA with a landmark, seismic decision today that I want to talk about. We'll do it as we continue on AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness.
After further review.
Hey, if you haven't done it yet, there's 2 reasons to go to 1045ESPN.com and sign up for the Duplessis Builders Dream Pool Sweepstakes. Number 1 is you can win a pool. Totally free, custom pool. You could win it from Duplessis Builders. The other reason is the way you enter is by making a minimum $25 donation to Dreams Come True of Louisiana. And Dreams Come True of Louisiana grants dreams for Louisiana children with life-threatening or terminal illnesses. And there's so many great charities. There are a few more worthy than a charity like Dreams Come True, where 100% of the money stays local in Louisiana and helps Louisiana children. And you might win a pool. And the worst thing that happens is you donate to an awesome organization. DuplessisBuilders.net. It's the Dream Pool Sweepstakes. Check them out at DuplessisBuilders.net.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Garrett's had a solid week so far. He's ready to get out there and go play, and just like everybody else, just focusing on the main thing, which is South Carolina, and going out there and winning.
That's Kyle Parker meeting with reporters Tuesday night after practice, talking about Garrett Nussmeier. Center Braylon Moore, who is part of that battery for LSU, was also asked how Nussmeier did during the open date and how he's coming along physically.
Yeah, he's had a great week. I think the bye week was crucial for him and a lot of the guys to be able to, get a little healthier. But, he looks great. We just had a practice, and he was slinging it out there.
Just had a practice, and he was out there slinging it out there. It's according to Braylon Moore, center. Got a pretty good vantage point of all that. I know, at the risk of sounding repetitive, I know I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. As the story advances and people talk about it, we'll let you hear what people say. And a receiver and the center for LSU talked about Garrett Nussmeier and how he looks physically, and those reports seem pretty good. For what it's worth, Shane Beamer on the SEC Coaches Teleconference on Wednesday morning. I'm sorry, this was Tuesday night. Forgive me, this was Tuesday when Shane Beamer met with reporters there in Columbia. Also spoke about Nussmeier.
He's made some throws this year, Jordan, that are wow throws that, you're like, man, there's very few people in the country that can make that throw. The one thing I've seen, they've had some injuries on the offensive line. They lost some really good offensive linemen. 66, Campbell starting for the Patriots now, and that was a really good group that they had last year. And then they've basically had to replace that group with some portal guys and new players, freshmen, and then they've had some injuries. And it's tough, man. So there's continuity on the offensive line where they've given up some pressures, which is going to happen in this conference, and he hasn't been able to sit in the pocket maybe as much at times as he would like. And from what I read, he hasn't been 100% healthy. I know they said they rested him some last week with an injury that he's had, but I see him gutting it out and making plays and being the great quarterback that he is.
So there's Shane Beamer talking about Garrett Nussmeier making throws that not many quarterbacks can make, and kind of blaming the pressures that Nussmeier has had to face and less really the injury. So look, I think all of that, we will get a better sense of it after this weekend. But when you look at some of what Garrett Nussmeier has had to face, this year, passing against pressure, he's been sacked 7 times, and he's faced 38 pressures so far in 5 games. So you're talking about an average of more than 7 pressures per game. And naturally, that's going to affect your ability to throw the football and be effective. So, we'll see how this LSU offensive line holds up against that South Carolina defensive front. Dylan Stewart is the guy that everybody's going to keep an eye on. He was the outstanding freshman a season ago. Kyle Kennard, who was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year last year, is now in the NFL. And Stewart, statistically, hasn't really had the amazing season this year, mainly, I would assume, because a lot of teams, I haven't watched every minute of South Carolina play, but I would assume a lot of teams are trying to avoid Dylan Stewart as best they can on the other side. So, for what it's worth, Brian Kelly on Monday at his press conference spoke about Dylan Stewart, again, coming off that sensational year a season ago.
An elite pass rusher, probably one of the best that we'll see all year. When you look at guys in this league, everybody's got the ability to rush the passer. But again, I think in our situation, we're going to have to do some things to take care of Dylan Stewart. We're going to have to be very cognizant of where he is. He can obviously disrupt your passing game, and we'll have to be very, very aware where he is.
He has the ability to be a game wrecker. And look, he had a sack against Virginia Tech in the opener. He had a sack against South Carolina State, and then he had 1.5 against Kentucky. So right now, he's at 3.5 sacks on the season. Keep in mind, a year ago in 2024, Dylan Stewart finished the season with 6.5 sacks. It was Kennard who had the big explosive statistical season a year ago for the Gamecocks. But this is a guy that's a former 5-star in Dylan Stewart, who's 6'5", 245, coming off the edge. He wears number 6. You'll see him, believe me, if you're watching. You'll see him. You'll notice him. But that is the guy that has the potential to wreck your day. And against Ole Miss, it was not a great day for LSU's left tackle and Tyree Adams. And Karius Kern had a better day pass blocking than Tyree Adams did. But it was a struggle at times for LSU to protect Garrett against the 3-man rush. So keeping an eye on that matchup will be interesting. But you hear some of the players there talking about Nussmeier. Seems like he's good to go. Braylon Moore said he's slinging it. Brian Kelly said he's healthy. He's on the backside of what he was dealing with. I'll continue to believe that as well. We saw Nuss throw the ball exceptionally well against Southeastern Louisiana. Again, I'm not saying the score. I'm just saying physically the ability to turn, throw, rotate, fire the ball like he looked like himself in that game. I don't think he regressed before Ole Miss. I think you couldn't run against a 3-man front. They were getting pressure against 3-man fronts, and that really affected your passing game. So, it'll be worth watching this weekend with LSU against South Carolina to see if they can protect Garrett Nussmeier and maybe make South Carolina respect the passing game a little bit more. It's interesting because I'm looking at the Pro Football Focus grades for Nussmeier. And when you look at sort of like the passing depth statistics, he's 7 of 23 on passes of 20 yards or more, and with 2 touchdowns and a pick. The pick was the one against Ole Miss. But his passing grade on deep balls is a 90.5, which is interesting. And they've only docked him at PFF with 2 turnover-worthy plays. One was the interception against Ole Miss. So, the most interesting part of all this is his worst grade are the short passes between 0 and 10 yards. He grades out at a 66. So in the medium zone from 10 to 19, his grade is an 84.4. We're talking about Nussmeier. And I think all this stands to reason, Garrett Nussmeier had been so efficient through the first 4 games. Not explosive, but efficient. And that efficiency evaded them against Ole Miss. Can he be more efficient again against South Carolina? It'll be critical for LSU to go win this game on Saturday at home. All right, we're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com. Firstsouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. You can go to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. I love sharing great testimonials with you. And, we've shared a few here in the past couple of weeks of clients there at First South Farm Credit. But I would strongly encourage you to make your own memory, get your own experience. If you're thinking of buying land, have that phone call with First South Farm Credit. Look them up online, firstsouthland.com. Call the branch nearest you at firstsouthland.com. Go in and meet. We shared one of the testimonials with you here recently of a client who said, man, done business on the side of the road, signed papers on the hood of a pickup truck. Whatever's most convenient for you is what First South Farm Credit will do. If it's recreational property, if it's 1,000 acres for agriculture, if you want to buy the 20 acres, 100 acres to build your family's dream home and own some land, maybe work in the city, live that rural lifestyle, you can have the best of both worlds, and First South Farm Credit's been making that happen since 1916. So check them out online at firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com. All right, y'all, it is after further review. We'll do Tigers and the Pros coming up here in just a smidge, and we will get to the Saints-Patriots injury report after the top of the hour in 17 minutes, and we'll get to Russ Mitchell. The NCAA has taken a step closer to allowing sports betting by coaches and student athletes, with the caveat that it would allow them to bet on pro sports. This is the NCAA Division I Administrative Committee. They adopted a proposal to allow student athletes and athletic department staff to bet on pro sports. That's a shift in policy, and you could say that is sort of opening the door to more improprieties. I don't know that I absolutely agree with that. To me, it kind of feels like in disallowing that behavior, it would only encourage people to try to do so to circumvent the rules. This isn't a great analogy, but it almost feels like, and by the way, I do not believe this hard and fast. I have no data. I have no statistical data to back this up. This is just sort of feeling, observing the situation. So I'm very much open to hearing any and all points of view that might conflict. But it's like you hear about, like there being no drinking age in Europe. And so, kids at dinner are allowed to have a glass of wine. And when it's not illegal, they're far less likely to abuse it, I think is kind of the point of view. I could see something similar here, where if a college athlete wants to bet on an NFL game on a Sunday or set a DraftKings lineup or, something like that, daily fantasy, they can do it. And it without fear of consequence. So I don't know. I think it feels like a good decision. It may not be, but it's something worth following there, and we will. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back and wrap up hour number 2 with Tigers and the Pros. Stick around.
After further review.
Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Check it out online, yourgoodwood.com. Start there, set an appointment if you want to feel your best. Let's be honest. Guys, there's no sense, and ladies, in going through life feeling sick and tired all the time. If you wake up in the morning and you tell yourself, it's hell getting old, and your bones are creaky, and you wake up tired, and you come home from a long day of work after having 15 cups of coffee, and you just want to veg out and crash on the couch, you don't want to get in the gym, if you do work out and it's hard to burn fat or build muscle, don't go through life like that. It is 2025, y'all. We have ways to safely, affordably supplement to get you feeling like your younger self again. There is no sense in going through life feeling miserable. A simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy, and that is just the open door to a world of feeling better with all the options they have at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. So visit yourgoodwood.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
All All right, wrapping up hour number 2. One other thing, we just talked about the NCAA potentially allowing sports betting on professional sports. One other thing worth keeping an eye on as well. We know earlier this year, LSU unveiled a sponsor logo on the field at Tiger Stadium. The D1 Administrative Committee also introduced a proposal for commercial logos on uniforms, apparel, and equipment. So again, this is jersey patches. This is it's long anticipated, expected that this is going to happen, that you're going to have sponsored jersey patches. But that's now been formally introduced by the Division I Administrative Committee. So we'll follow that when I'm certain it'll pass, just like the field logos pass and everything else will. They'll have an opportunity to put jersey patches on. And when that's approved, we'll certainly talk about it here. But be aware that's now being pushed through. And as it moves along, we'll certainly keep you posted. Okay, we do it every day about this time. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, the Philadelphia Phillies, they are on the brink of elimination tonight, trailing the Dodgers 2-0 in the NLDS, so they will turn to Aaron Nola. With backs up against the wall, veteran Phil gets the start, and man, he needs a really good one. This has not been the season many would have predicted for Aaron. Limited to just 17 starts due to multiple injuries and a couple different rehab stints as well down in AAA. Finished with just a 5-10 record and an ERA of 6. 94 innings. He hasn't pitched, obviously, since the regular season ended, but the Phillies having the bye is a huge spot, and hopefully he's back to full health and can go out there and give the Phillies what they need and maybe prolong the season for another day.
Let's go. Calic high.
Just needs to visualize he's back in AAA and not facing like Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts and those guys.
Visualize he's back at Hearthstone, Muse.
There we go. Visualize an attack.
Shoving against the lowly St. Michael the Archangel Warriors.
Yeah, that probably happened.
I don't even know if they ever played.
I don't know.
Probably didn't go well, no doubt.
It didn't go well for anybody against Aaron Nola. Yeah,
he's been really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Guys won over 100 Major League games. Anyway, this actually is pertinent to the Saints game as well. Kayvon Chason, limited at Patriots practice with a knee. He's got a knee.
He's got a knee?
He's got a knee. Yeah.
Well,
but he's only limited with the knee.
I'd rather have a knee than a toe.
Of course. Naturally. It is a bit disappointing, though, because Chason's off to one of the better starts in his career. Remember, his career's kind of taking a little bit to get going, but he's up 2.5 sacks here already through 5 games, and he's played in all 5 so far, so this is a relatively new knee injury that he does have. We'll keep you posted on that, obviously, as well. Of note, Kayvon Chason, the only former Tiger on an injury report so far here on Wednesday in the NFL. How about that? A lot of health going around for the boys.
A lot of health.
That's Tigers in the pros.
You got to love the health.
You do love the health.
How can you not love the health?
It's what everyone strives for.
Big fan of health.
Is good health.
Big fan of the health.
Really allows you to do your job well in a physical game like football.
We're brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing. You know what else I love? Parish Construction and Roofing. You can visit parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. From claim to cleanup, we'd love to help you out at Parish Construction and Roofing. I say all the time, commercial, residential, we do it all. Gutters, soft wash. We even do industrial roofing jobs. Got a massive industrial job we're about to start. So, obviously, safety is paramount to do work inside the fence. We would love to help you out with that. And I would tell you, our commercial roofing manager, Matt Pearson, when we were continuing to grow and expand Parish, I think, of course, many of you know that I'm one of the owners of the company. We knew we needed the right person heading up our commercial division. So we kind of scoured far and wide looking for the right commercial roofing manager. We hired Matt Pearson from Florida. And I don't know that there's, literally, I don't know that there's a person that I've ever met that knows more about roofing in general than Matt Pearson. So no matter how complex your job may be, we got a solution for you, and we'd love to help you out. We're local. Here in Baton Rouge, of course, we got our office in Elmwood as well, there in New Orleans. So if if you need anything, repairs, replacements, gutters, soft wash, commercial, residential, industrial, we do it all. It's Parish Construction Roofing. Visit parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know, Parish Construction Roofing, parishbuilt.com. All right, y'all, it is after further review, and we're glad that you're hanging out with us here. The New Orleans Saints back on the practice field today. We had the attendance report, so we know Cesar Ruiz was back at practice. And as we also mentioned a bit ago, Chase Young popped in a little late. Well, now we got the official injury report, and Ellen Moore spoke to the media. So we'll let you know what was on the official injury report and what Kellen Moore had to say after practice as the Saints really turn their attention to Sunday's game in the Dome against the New England Patriots. So we'll get into all that coming up here in hour number 3. We'll also talk to Russ Mitchell, recapping last weekend in the Southeastern Conference and starting to preview a big one this weekend. Of course, with Texas and OU and the Red River rivalry, will John Mateer play? We'll talk LSU against South Carolina. Ton to do. Hour 3 is next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. And Rouse's is helping you cover the spread all season long. Not the point spread. Helping you cover your tailgate spread. Tigers are back at home. The Saints are at the Dome. If you're going to be tailgating this weekend, remember, Rouse's can help you out. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. For anything you're looking for, your beers and your bourbons and your wines, your RTDs, if you want your tailgate trays, your sandwich trays, your party platters, they got everything. Ribs, the meat pies, all of it. Easy, grab and go. And by the way, the Rouse is right there on Burbank, which is where Hester and Flynn are every Friday during football season. Like, that's right on the way to campus. Pop on into that Rouse's, grab your goodies, get on into campus and go tailgate. It's Rouse's. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home.